It's often said that your biggest challenges come from where you least expect them.
Hmm.
Sometimes, even when a team is laser-focused, the curveball comes from inside the dugout. It really makes you think.
Absolutely. And, well, when that unpredictable element is someone's own public statements contradicting their own legal strategy, it creates a particularly interesting scenario.
Which is exactly what we're unpacking today. We've
Yeah.
got this situation involving a recent legal filing by Donald Trump's government lawyers. It's about Elon Musk's authority regarding something called Doge.
Right, Doge.
And it seems some of Trump's own pronouncements have added a layer of complexity.
As we understand it, this Doge office, as it's being called, seems tied to some kind of government efficiency initiative. The legal challenge really questions the legitimacy of actions taken under this Doge umbrella, focusing specifically on Mr. Musk's authority.
Right. So in this deep dive, our mission is to understand the legal path Trump's lawyers initially charted, how Trump's own public statements might have, well, rerouted that path, and what the potential destination looks like now. We're aiming for clarity here so you can grasp the essentials without, needing a law degree.
Okay, let's start with that initial legal strategy. Trump's government lawyers, they filed a motion in court. What was the core of their argument about Elon Musk's role?
Well, the crux of it, the main point, was that Elon Musk doesn't hold a formal official government position within this Doge thing. They argued he isn't officially in charge.
Okay,
Instead, he functions as a special government employee. That was their term.
a special government employee. And what's the legal significance of that distinction? Why position him that way? What were they trying to achieve?
The strategy, it appears, was an attempt to limit how his actions could be legally challenged. Think of it like the difference between a cabinet secretary. They have a defined role, authority you can scrutinize, and maybe a special advisor. The advisor offers guidance, but doesn't wield the same official power, doesn't face the same kind of formal accountability. So by arguing Musk is just a special employee, they're suggesting his authority can't be challenged in the same way you'd challenge a top official.
So it's a move to shield Musk's actions, maybe. Shield them from certain types of legal scrutiny by defining his role as less formal, less powerful, basically saying he's not the captain, just a specialized crew member.
Exactly. Navigating the legal waters by defining the role carefully. But then the narrative takes a sharp turn. Donald Trump starts talking publicly.
Indeed. The source material points out that after this legal filing, Trump made public statements that seemed to directly contradict his own legal team's position. Can you elaborate on that specific instance?
Yeah, the source highlights a meeting Trump had in Miami with Saudi Arabian financial figures. And during this meeting, he made a very clear statement. He said, and this is a direct quote apparently, "I signed an order creating the Department of Government Efficiency and put a man named Elon Musk in charge. Thank you, Elon, for doing it." And he's doing a great job.
Wow. That's pretty unambiguous, isn't it? While his lawyers are arguing Musk isn't in charge,
Right.
the former president is publicly declaring he put Musk in charge of this department. And the source says this wasn't just a one-off comment.
That's right. The source really emphasizes that Trump made similar statements not just once, but twice since that initial legal filing. Seems to be a consistent message from him.
Okay, let's talk ramifications. The legal fallout from these contradictory statements. How do Trump's public words potentially undermine the strategy his lawyers were trying to implement? What problems does this create for them?
Well, it creates a huge credibility issue, doesn't it?
Yeah.
If Trump himself is on record saying he created a Department of Government Efficiency, this Doge entity, and explicitly says he put Elon Musk in charge, it strongly implies Musk does have significant authority. It directly clashes with the lawyer's argument that he's just special government employee without formal power. It's like the person you hired to argue your case is being directly contradicted by you, the client.
It certainly puts the legal team in a difficult spot. They're trying to minimize Musk's formal authority legally, while their client is publicly saying the opposite. What are the potential legal vulnerabilities this discrepancy might expose, specifically regarding Musk's actions under Doge? What could the other side argue?
The core vulnerability, I think, lies in the legitimacy of anything Musk has done under this Doge department banner. If the entity itself has no clear legal standing or official authority, and Musk doesn't hold a defined government role, well, then the legal basis for his actions could be seriously challenged.
Right.
Opponents could argue his directives or decisions lack the necessary legal foundation. They don't stem from recognized government authority,
Which brings up a crucial question. How might the court react? How does a judge look at such a clear split between the legal arguments and the former president's public words? What might they ask Trump's lawyers?
The source strongly suggests the judge is likely to ask some very pointed, probably uncomfortable questions. They'll want a clear explanation. How do you reconcile your claim Musk is just a special employee with Trump's repeated public statements that he's in charge of a department Trump says he created?
Yeah, that's tough.
It forces the lawyers onto the defensive, right? They have to explain away their own client's words while still trying to support their original legal argument.
It's hard to see how they effectively argue against the very person they represent. The source even hints at how the legal team themselves might feel about this. What does it suggest?
The source uses pretty blunt language, actually. It suggests the lawyers were likely blindsided, caught completely off guard by Trump's public comments. The implication is they probably never anticipated their client would so directly and publicly undermine their carefully crafted legal strategy.
Leaving them scrambling.
Exactly. Scrambling to deal with this new contradictory reality in court.
And this specific instance, as strange as it seems, maybe fits into a larger pattern. The source material seems to highlight that. What's the broader theme here?
Yeah, the source really emphasizes Donald Trump's consistent habit of making public statements, often seemingly without fully considering the potential legal blowback, and how this recurring tendency complicates his legal positions and, frankly, the efforts of his legal teams.
The source is quite direct in assessing this tendency, isn't it? What's the commentary on Trump's inclination to speak so freely?
Yes, the source doesn't mince words. It states quite plainly that Trump seems physically incapable, mentally incapable of just keeping his mouth shut. It portrays this as a fundamental part of his public persona that frequently creates obstacles, especially in legal situations where, message control is key.
And the implication is that this latest situation, the Doge thing with Elon Musk, is just the latest example of this pattern. And these public statements are very likely to be used against Trump's legal team as this court challenge moves forward.
Precisely. You can bet the opposing legal team will seize upon these public statements. They're direct evidence contradicting the government's own arguments about Musk's role and authority. It basically hands them ammunition.
A significant advantage in challenging the government's claims.
So bring it all together for you, the listener. This whole situation really underscores the massive impact public statements can have, especially from high-profile figures, even in complex legal battles. A seemingly casual remark can have real negative consequences when it clashes with a legal strategy.
Absolutely. It highlights the huge challenge of managing information, maintaining a cohesive legal defense, when a key figure operates with such frequent and often contradictory public communication.
Which leaves us with a compelling question for you to think about. What does this situation really reveal about the inherent difficulties? The difficulties of trying to control a narrative and stick to a legal position when a central figure communicates so directly and publicly, sometimes undermining their own legal team. It's definitely something to ponder.
Indeed. And with that, hopefully you now have a much deeper understanding of this particular legal development and the rather unique dynamics playing out right now.